Hello students, and welcome to A1 English Language for Secondary School Students. I hope you are good today. Today we are going to look at a question on an informal letter. Remember, I promised you, after teaching you the meaning and features of an informal letter, I promised that we have to practice with a question so that we will learn better. So today I have a question on the board, and the question is: write a letter to your younger brother who is preparing for his junior WAEC examination, advising him on the best ways to prepare for the examination and encouraging him to stay focused. Now, if you have not listened to the informal letter meaning and the features we have discussed, please, I will advise you to go back to it because it will help you to understand this more. If you are a student and you are preparing for WAEC, this is time to be here. If you are a student too and you are not preparing for WAEC examination, you need to know this. It will help you. Even if we are parents, we need it too, so that we'll be able to guide our students or our children right. Now, let's look at this question closely to understand it first, because if you are given any question on the writing exam, please try to understand it first. It will help you to do the writing. Now, there are two questions here. The first one is advising him on the best ways to prepare for the examination, and the second one is encouraging him to stay focused. These two must be part of your answers, otherwise you will not score a good mark in your examination. Now, let's start with proper plan. When you are given this, you need to plan for it. Don't just dabble into it and then go out of it. Try to plan, make a plan, and make sure you have at least 3 good points to support whatever you are writing. Otherwise, you will not succeed. Now, let's start with plan. What plans will you have for this essay? First of all, let's use I for the first plan. What we need to do is to schedule time, study plan, okay? Then under scheduling study plan, we have something like, the first one you need to do is to have or create a time bound and an achievable plan. Create a time bound and an achievable plan. Okay, that is where you talk about the timetable and other things. Then another thing to do is to rotate your subject, and the third one is to revise your notes. And practice past questions. Then the second time, let's use A, B, C, D for this. A, B, and C. So the second one, I, you talk about rest and health or diet. Let's say rest and let's use diet, okay? So, or let's use health. I think health is better. Rest and health. Under health and rest, you still have things to talk about. Like the first one, you can ask the person to sleep well. That is A. B. Eat good food. eat good food. And C, take time for break or break. Okay. The third one, the person may still have difficult subjects to handle. Okay. Handling difficult subjects. What do we do when we have difficult subjects to handle? One, that is A, break the subject or the topic. Break the topic into smaller chunks. Okay, I hope you have taken down the question. Break the subject into break the topic into smaller chunks. Okay, that's the first thing. Then the second thing is to seek for help. Seek for help. And the third one is active recall. Active recall. Okay, remember the question said you should ask the person to remain focused. So the fourth one is encourage him to remain focused. Encourage him to remain focused. Encourage him to remain focused. Okay. And then under encouraging him to remain focused, you have things like A, assure the person that the person will succeed or the hard work will pay off. Reassure him that the hard work will pay off. That is one. Then B, ask the person not to panic. Remain calm and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Remain calm and believe in yourself. Now let's look at the C part of it. The C part of it. Promise the person that you will celebrate after the examination. Okay? Promise him as an encouragement that you will celebrate after the examination. Okay, so now that we have a plan for this, let's now delve into the actual writing of the essay. Remember, in an exam, you have to write up to 450 words. I will not write up to that now because you can see that the board is not too big. But I will try to write to a reasonable extent. Now, let's begin. We are going to start normally with an address. Remember, if you are enjoying this, please subscribe. Now let's start with the address. Remember, a well punctuated address. "16 Silver Street, comma. of Palm Avenue, comma, Munshi, comma, and Lagos State. That's the last address. I put full stop. Then date 30th November, comma, 2025. Then full stop. So you can see the address well punctuated, and like I told you, block is preferable to slant because slant is outdated. Now that we have written our address, well punctuated address, now let's go to, and remember, all the words that start your address should be in capital letter. Now let's go to salutation. Salutation, and we are going to start from the margin. Okay, since we are writing to our brother, let's write dear brother. Dear brother, and the B in brother should be in capital letter. So when you write dear brother, you put comma. Then start with paragraph. Some students will just use one paragraph and forget to use more. They will write everything with just one paragraph. So let's start with paragraph. How are you? How is a question word, and so we put question mark. And once you put question mark, you have ended it. The next one should start with capital letter. I hope you are fine. Remember our contractions. Instead of writing it in full, I have used you are. That's you are fine. You put full stop. I hope it's not a question word. And since it's not a question word, we need to put full stop. Okay, let's continue. I know you are currently deep into your final preparation for your junior WAEC examination. This is a name of exam. That is why you should write it. You start it with capital letters. And WAEC is an acronym. That is why it is in capital letter. Examination. I want to take some time to write you. Remember your punctuation. I have been thinking about you, and I want to share some tips that really helped me during my own examination. during my own examination. Okay, then first, remember you will now go to another paragraph, and remember to use linkers. First is a linker. We are trying to link what we are writing together so that it won't be disjointed. First, you put your comma. You should, okay, you should have a study schedule. You have a study schedule. And this means that you, okay, let me start with capital letter. You should study for 2 hours. Remember, when you are writing an English language essay, you don't use figures, you use words. So instead of writing 2 in figure, I use words here. For 2 hours in the morning, and 3 hours in the night or evening. In the night. Please rotate your subjects. You can start with mathematics, in the morning, and follow it with social studies. Follow it with social studies or even basic science. And follow it with social studies. Then you should also include time for break and meal. You should also include time for break and meal. Let's continue. This time we need another paragraph. So we can also use an adverbial linker to link it with the one we have already written. So in addition, see paragraph again. In addition, you need good sleep. Make sure you sleep for 6 to 8 hours. Remember, lack of sleep can affect your memory. Please, let's read so that if there is any mistake, we correct before we continue. First, you should have a study schedule. You should study for 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the night. Please, when you use please, you put comma. Rotate your subjects. You can start with mathematics in the morning and follow it up with social studies. You should also include time for break and meal. In addition, you need good sleep. Make sure you sleep for 6 to 8 hours. Remember, lack of sleep can affect your memory. Also, eat good food and stay hydrated. I hope you know what we mean by staying hydrated. That means you drink a lot of water. Hydrated. That is, drink a lot of water. Avoid too much junk. Avoid too much junk food. Junk food and sugary drinks. Okay. Furthermore, or let's finish up this particular point we are talking about. Avoid them. Take at least 45 to 60 minutes. 60 minutes for break to stretch and walk around. Okay, you know that sitting one place can affect somebody's health, so you take 40 to 60 minutes, 45 to 60 minutes for break to stretch and walk around. Then we go to another paragraph. Furthermore, it's one word. Furthermore is one word. Furthermore, you put comma. Okay, if you have a challenging subject, okay, then comma, break the topic into smaller chunks. Chunks, not chunks. Smaller chunks. Okay. You can also meet your subject teacher. You can meet your subject teacher or a friend for clarification immediately you are confused. Okay, another thing is that you should be active. You should have active recall. Yes, is that you should have active recall. And how do we do that? You need to teach the concept. Another thing is that you should teach the concept to an imaginary friend. This will help you to recall what you have read. Okay, let's read again in case there is any point where we need to put comma or full stop so that we'll be able to do that. Furthermore, if you have a challenging subject, break the topic into smaller chunks. You can also meet your subject teacher or a friend for clarification. Immediately, remember to dot your small letter I. Immediately you are confused. Another thing is that you should teach the concept to an imaginary friend. This will help you to recall what you have read. Okay, remember we have done justice to telling the person how to prepare for the exam. Now we want to encourage the person to remain focused. And start by saying, please. Anytime you use please, put comma. Please, my brother. Please, my brother, comma. Remain focused. Have or believe in yourself, okay? Believe in yourself. I know that with the right strategy, you will succeed. Let's continue. We are coming to the end of the letter gradually. We are gradually coming to the end of the letter. Now, okay, I said, please, my brother, remain focused. Believe in yourself. I know that with the right strategy, you will succeed. Okay. Work, or let's say, continue to. Okay, let's start it from here. Continue to work hard and after the examination we will We will celebrate your success. We will celebrate your success. If you need anything, please let me know. Okay, remember I put comma before please. You put comma before please, you also put comma after please, depending on how you use that please. If you are starting with please, you should put comma. Then before you put please, you put comma too. Let me know. Then my regard to your friend. My regard to your friend Tolu. Okay, immediately we finish, we don't need to skip any line. We go to the next line and write our complimentary clause or subscription. So we use, for the purpose of examination, we use yours sincerely. Okay, yours sincerely. You put comma and you write your first name. Glory. Full stop. Remember, in informal letter, you don't sign and you close it with your first name, not your full name, but just the first name. Now take a look at the spelling of sincerely. Most students usually spell it like this. They will omit the E here and just write L-Y. That's not the right spelling. This is wrong. This is the right spelling. Okay, so next time we are going to continue. Maybe we have to practice another question so that you understand it clearly. Thank you very much. Remember to subscribe if you are new to this, and if you are not new, please watch from the beginning to the end so that you will be able to understand what we have just done. Thank you.